everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm so excited to do because it's going to be a new chopping block video. I did one of these a while back on eyeshadow palettes right before I did my big eyeshadow palette declutter, so I will have that link down below. Today's video is going to be focused on highlighters and also face palettes because those are the next two categories that I want to focus my declutters on. So let me know if you have a preference for which you would like to see first. But I have 8 different products here that I'm considering maybe decluttering in those next declutter videos, and I will tell you why. I'd love to get some feedback. I do have some YouTube friends who do chopping block videos, so I will leave them linked to my description box if you want to see more videos like this. I just watched Kelly Gooch this morning. She posted one. Ashley Clady, Kaylee Baute, and Drea. I will have them all linked to my description box. Make sure to go check them out. But if you want to see what is currently on my chopping block, why don't we go ahead and get started. So like I said, I have face palettes and also highlighters here. So I think I will start with some face palettes. And yeah, let me know if you have a preference, if you want to see highlight first, face palette. I might do a poll in the community tab, see how y'all are feeling. But first up here, I have this palette from Nars. This is the Wanted 1 Cheek Palette. This came out last year, I want to say maybe around holiday time, and I can never open these palettes, so luckily I have my lash applicator here, which is going to help me open this palette. Can anyone else never open Nars palettes? Okay, so I really like this palette. Okay. So I really like this palette. I have good things to say about it. I've reviewed it very positively on my channel. So that's kind of why I'm like, oh, it's on my chopping block. Like, I'm not sure I want to declutter it. You know, as I was going through both my highlights and my face palette collections, there was a few in there that I'm like, no, that's definitely, I know you're going to be decluttered. These are products that like I just can't quite decide on because I do like this palette, but I haven't reached into it for so long. It has a nice mirror on it. It has a nice variety of blushes. Some of these are more shimmery. This one I've used as a highlight, but again, I just haven't gone into it for a while. So it's like, do I really need to keep all of these different face palettes around? I have a weakness when it comes to face palettes. I buy them a lot. So it's like, do I really need this one? I don't know. I can't decide. The Nars Wanted one. It's just, I feel so bad. Like, I liked it so much, but again, it's just, if you're not reaching for it, like, do you need to keep it in your collection? And then this next one here is one that I just reviewed recently. It's a new product to me. I picked it up not that long ago, and I'm kind of considering decluttering it. This is from Smashbox. It's the Holidaze Contour and Spotlight Palette. So I just reviewed this like last week. I picked it up only a couple months back from Sephora, I think it was, that I got it. I got it on sale for like half off, which is fabulous. So you have this giant mirror in here, and then you have 9 different shades. So I use this for contour, for bronzer. There's a couple highlights in here that are pretty. But like I was saying in my review video, I don't reach for this a ton, even though it's new in my collection, and I just bought it, which normally when you buy something new, you like reach for it again and again and again. And I kind of, and it's not that I regret buying it because it was a great deal for all of these different shades and for the price that I paid, but at the same time, it's like, I am not reaching for this. So I felt a little bit silly when I reviewed it. Like, I probably didn't need to buy this even though it was on sale. Probably didn't need to buy it, and I'm sure there's probably someone that could get a lot more use out of this than this just like sitting around in my collection. So I feel a little bit silly that I bought it, but honestly, when I was going through my collections to pull products for this video, I was like, I feel like I have to mention this one because I really am considering it. Dang it. Okay, so a couple other face palettes here. This one is from Colourpop. Oh, I did want to say, I did film this look. If you are curious, I will have it linked down below. This was Friday's video. This was a get ready with me using products that I chose for my February Shopped My Stash. So a bunch of like throwback older products on my face right now. Of course, I'll have everything linked down below of what I've used, but I will also link Friday's video if you want to catch that. So did want to say that. But this next one here is from Colourpop. This is the House of Mirrors Face Duo. So it looks like this. You have a bronzer and a highlight inside, and then you do have a little mirror. I like this little compact, you know, it's nice and easy to, you know, throw in a bag or whatever. And I used it quite a bit when I first got it, and I thought that it was nice. I actually like the highlight more than the bronzer. The bronzer was a little subtle on me, but the highlight was really popping and really pretty. But you know, Colourpop, things go in and out of stock so fast. This went out of stock so fast, like just completely disappeared from the website, and I was super bummed about that, and I just find myself not reaching for it a ton. And again, I like the highlighter a lot more than I like the bronzer. I remember, you know, it was more affordable because it was Colourpop, so it's not like don't feel like I don't know if I fully got my money's worth out of this one, but I used it plenty of times. But I'm kind of considering getting rid of it. Just again, I don't reach for it a ton. type thing. I don't reach for both shades in there. Mostly just reach for the highlight, and even still I can't remember the last time that I wore that one highlight by itself, so kind of thinking about that one from Colourpop. And then another one here, this is from Urban Decay. This was a collaboration with Kristen and Leanne. So Kristen and Leanne did a collaboration several months ago with Urban Decay, if not like a year ago with Urban Decay. And I really liked this palette, so some of you might be surprised to see this on the chopping block because I used this so much. So you have 3 different shades inside. You have these 3 little highlights because this is the Beauty Beam palette is the like proper name for this one, if you will. I really got a lot of use out of this last year in March so it was last year that this came out because I remember this came on my Arizona trip with me and I use these highlights a ton. I really like these 2 especially, but I can really use all 3 and it's a beautiful highlight palette. But it has been a while since I grabbed out for this. I don't know if this is available anymore. You know, collaborations are usually limited edition, so I don't even know if this is available anymore or not, and I'm just not reaching for it a ton, and I feel like maybe someone else might get some more love out of it. I have so many highlights and highlight palettes, etc. that I don't know. Oh, this is more of a highlight palette than a face palette, but that's okay. So yeah, I don't know. Kind of considering that one with the Kristen and Leanne collaboration, possibly. Okay, and then I have one more highlight palette to share, and then I have a few single highlights that I'll talk about as well. This highlight palette has stayed with me through so many declutters, and even though it's a little bit on the different side for me, I still have continually hung on to it, but I'm kind of finally like, is now the time to get rid of it. This is from Sigma Beauty. This is the Chroma Glow Shimmer and Highlight palette. So inside you have 6 different shades. You have a nice big mirror. This is a really nice highlight palette. I have recommended it. I have used it a lot. There's definitely some different shades in here to me. Like I don't always reach for, you know, a lilac highlight, a blue shift highlight. I don't go for those a ton. These 2 were definitely my most used, Peaceful and Ambrosia. I definitely use them a lot. But every once in a while, you know, you get a wild hair and you want to do something a little bit different with your highlight. This was the palette that I was reaching for that. You have these giant pans, again, a nice mirror on it, but I've noticed lately that I just have my favorite highlights. I have my top 3 highlights, and then I even have another, you know, 5 highlights that I like after that. So I'm kind of like, do you need to continue to keep around this palette, especially when you only go into, you know, 2 shades mostly, and there's 6 in here, or can you just pass this along to someone who might enjoy it more? What do you do? Should I declutter it? Should I keep it? I don't know. Having a hard time with this one from Sigma, but that one is on the chopping block. I have 3 single highlights as well that I am putting on my chopping block. The first one is from Becca Cosmetics. I have said in a recent video that I am just not reaching for my Becca highlights as much lately. I feel like they have definitely been dethroned. I feel like there are a lot of other highlight formulas that I am preferring, highlighters that I'm just reaching for. So my Becca ones are just, they're just kind of being moved to the back of my collection. This one here is in Dreamsicle. So I had a couple to choose to put on the chopping block. I chose out Dreamsicle because it's one that I feel like I've reached for the least out of all of my Becca highlights. When I first saw this one, I wasn't quite keen on it because I didn't think this would match my particular skin tone or like look good on my particular skin tone, but it actually is a really pretty highlight. It's not as dark as it looks in the pan, and especially if you blend it out, it looks really beautiful. It kind of gives you this really pretty, almost like a champagne vanilla type of highlight to the skin. I don't know if you can tell because I really tried to blend it out so you can see that it's not like super dark, but again, like it just gives a nice sheen to the face, but I still feel like that there's other highlights that I would prefer. And again, it's like I do have to blend it out quite a bit in order for it to look good on my skin, but then if you blend it out too much, I feel like you kind of are taking away the point of a highlight. So I don't know. What do you guys think about Dreamsicle from Becca? I think this one might get decluttered, but I'm not sure yet. That's why it's just on the chopping block right now. Not 100%. And then the next one that I have here is from Revolution or Makeup Revolution. This is one of their Vivid Baked Highlighters, and this is in Peach Lights. Now, I really like this highlight. I really like it. I have recommended it. I think that it's very pretty, but I just don't reach for it. And there's even times where I'm like looking at my highlights and I'm like, you have not worn that one from Makeup Revolution, you should wear it. And I'm like, no, I'll wear something else. So that's why I'm thinking maybe I should get rid of this one. It's a little bit powdery on the skin, and it also has more of like a kind of like this shift in it, which again, I don't reach for a ton, but I don't know. it shows up really beautiful on the skin, especially if you use more of like a dense brush. And I do think that it looks nice, but again, I am just not reaching for this. I purchased it from Ulta Beauty, I think it was. You know, tried it out for a couple times, reviewed it, thought it was pretty, but now I just feel like it's just kind of sitting there, like it's becoming a dust collector. You know, so that is why that one is on the chopping block. And then the last one I have here is actually a mini. This is from CoverFX. This is their Moonlight highlight. I actually got this as a Christmas gift from a family member a couple years ago. I had it on my Sephora loves list. I really do like that it's a mini. I love makeup minis and all of that. But again, I am just not going for this highlight a ton. Even after I got it and I was super excited about it, I just didn't reach for it super often. This one is a little bit more on the gold side, but it's just, it's pretty and everything, but it's nothing super special to me. It's nothing that makes it stand out amongst my highlight collection. So for that reason, that's why I have it on my chopping block. Again, maybe someone else might get some more use out of it. And I don't know, again, it's nothing like super special to me. I was excited to be able to try out the CoverFX highlights because this was the first one that I was trying, but I'm just not reaching for it a ton. So those are the 8 products that are currently on my chopping block, some face palettes, and also some highlighters. Let me know what you thought of all the products that I chose out. What are you thinking I should keep in my collection? What do you think it could probably go? Also, let me know if you'd rather see the face palette declutter first or the highlight declutter, because that will be coming next month with my Declutter series. But other than that, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.